Hello everyone, my name is Pettman.
And my name's James Target.
And welcome to the Football Fanatics podcasting series. Today's episode is episode 3, and today we will be discussing a variety of football-based topics. So the first topic we're discussing is a section called What Your Prem Team Needs. So myself and James will be going through each Premier League team and suggesting one signing we feel they should make for next season. So without messing around, James, the first team is Arsenal. Who is your first signing for Arsenal?
Well, I picked a central defender for this because obviously they leak goals.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I know this is very, very, very optimistic for him, but I actually put Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli.
Wow, that's
very optimistic, but yeah.
So why him for Arsenal then?
They leak goals. They need a leader, and he's a very good leader, and he's very solid at the back. So yeah, they do need him. And if they can't list the errors that they make in defence with him in there, I don't see why they can't be back into the top 4 next season.
Wow, big claim. Okay, so I put Brighton's, I'm getting his name wrong. I put Yves Bissouma, the midfielder for Brighton.
I know you talk about. He need rumoured.
He's exactly. I thought someone realistic, and just thought like with Ceballos leaving as well, I thought someone that would complement Partey quite well. Because honestly, I think Partey's a really good player. I don't know what's gone wrong at Arsenal, but I just thought, someone next to him would be perfect. So the next team is Aston Villa. So who have you put for Aston Villa?
I put a central midfielder, and this is Ross Barkley, on a permanent deal from Chelsea. Now he's currently on loan, and I don't know the stats and everything, but I know he's doing very well for them and kind of impacting them quite well. And Villa are having a very good season, and he's definitely helping them for that. So yeah, I thought that'd be a semi-realistic one. Who did you put?
So I put Burnley's Dwight McNeil.
Oh yeah.
So I just thought that obviously they've got a lot of wingers like El Ghazi and Traore and then Grealish, but I think Grealish is better centrally. So I thought if they played Grealish in a more central role and then played Dwight McNeil on the left, 'cause again he's a really good player.
He is. I don't think he's naturally gifted.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really suit Burnley, does he? They're like the opposite of naturally gifted.
Burnley's got these kind of like really strong physical players.
Players, yeah.
Yeah, Dwight McNeil isn't really kind of that.
So I thought, for Villa, Villa play quite good football, so I thought that he would kind of fit in there perfectly. So, Brighton is next.
Yeah,
who did you put?
I put Carlin Graham. I just feel like it's kind of realistic, in my opinion, but we'll see what happens with that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, who did you pick?
Well, I went with the same kind of like theme of the striker, but I went for a bit of a, I don't know, it's probably a bit wishful for Brighton. I put Ivan Toney.
Oh wow, for Brighton.
For Brighton, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. I can't see any like of the top end teams like a Liverpool or whatever taking a chance on Toney because he's a Championship player. So next up is the mighty Burnley.
I put one that is a very, very sideways move for the player. It's Todd Cantwell.
Oh, do you think that's sideways, do you?
Well, Burnley are pretty much staying up this season. And Norwich will be back with them. They're kind of both going to be around the relegation zone next season. I don't see Norwich being top half. So, yeah, I think it's very, very sideways for them. But Todd Cantwell needs to kind of move on in his career. And I just thought Burnley's the next step. Just because they're an established Premier League side now. They've been in the Premier League for 6-7 seasons. So, yeah, I feel like Todd Cantwell will do well for them. Who did you put?
So for Burnley, I put another Championship player, and I think this one's definitely a step up for him. I put Harvey Elliott.
Oh wow!
From at Blackburn at the moment, obviously, and obviously he just left. But he had a really good, I think, got like 10 goals for him, which is pretty good considering like how young he is.
He's 17.
Well, he's younger than I am. So next up is a very big team. It's Chelsea.
It's your team as well.
Yes, my beloved. Who did you put for Chelsea?
Now, I think we talked about this one before, but I've actually put Romelu Lukaku. Oh. Now, he has been linked many of times.
Yes.
I don't think it's the only season he's been linked. I feel like he'll suit your style of play very much.
Honestly, I don't know anyone really that actually rates him as good as he is. I think he's one of the most underrated players there is.
Yeah, I mean, for United, he still did pretty well. I mean, he had the first touch of, I don't know, a bus, a donkey, anything. But if he sorts that out, I don't know why he can't be up there with the likes of who
like
could
a Drogba or something like that.
Yeah, Drogba. Because Drogba's a bit like him. I mean, I think Drogba's a better player.
Oh yeah,
definitely. But he's a bit like Drogba, just a poor man's Drogba. Poor man's Drogba. Yeah, I feel like Chelsea would do quite good with him. Don't see why not. They can't take the risk with him.
I've got to say, it's a very good choice. I would be very happy.
Yeah. Who did you pick?
Well, I don't think this is going to happen now because of like how things have gone on. But I put Aguero for Chelsea. As we both said, they need a striker. Like Chelsea create so many chances. Like I watched the game against Man City. it is like we could have beaten like 5-1, 6-1, or 6-2, whatever. If Aguero scored the penalty.
So I bet they probably missed a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, but we missed like easy ones. Like them ones with like no offense, but even Charlton would have scored a few of them.
Wow. Okay.
So, but yeah, I just thought Aguero he's just amazing. He's just clinical, isn't he? So I thought he'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So who was next? Crystal Palace. Again, your favourites.
Cheers, thank you. I don't like Crystal Palace because of the Charlton rivalry we have with Palace. Anyway, I put a striker here. I actually put Daryl Dyke from Barnsley.
Oh.
Now, he's on loan from somewhere in America. I think it's like Chicago.
I think it's Orlando or something
like
that.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it is Orlando. I feel like Palace needs someone like that. It's quite physical up front. Well, I don't know how much he'll cost because American player, but they could definitely go for someone like that. Anyway, who did you put?
I think that's a good choice personally. Well, I went for someone. He's not a very big name, but it's someone they've been linked with before. I'm going to probably get this wrong. So I put a striker. His name is Hwang Hee-chan.
Okay, I have no idea.
So he plays for Red Bull Leipzig in Germany, and I put him because he is quicker than quick. He's probably like Dan James level of pace, and I think that's what they need.
Yeah, I can see why you picked that.
Yeah. So next up was Everton. Who did you put for Everton?
Now, this is going to be controversial. I can't believe I picked this. I picked Dele Alli. Now, I know this sounds really weird and really unrealistic, but I just feel like Everton needs some sort of central midfielder that makes himself known, like kind of gives them presence in the midfield. Because they need someone that links the play from defence to attack. And I feel like Dele Alli, I mean, as mad as that sounds to go from Tottenham to Everton, I feel like he'll be a really good signing for them. Anyway, who did you pick for Everton?
So, I actually went kind of the opposite of you, because you said about they need a midfielder.
Yeah.
I put a fullback down. I put Max Aarons from Norwich.
Wow, okay, that's very, very different.
Yeah, well, I thought because obviously they got that Norwich link, didn't they, with Ben Godfrey, where he joined them. Norwich.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if you think about obviously Seamus Coleman's getting on, and they haven't even got anyone really to replace him at the moment. And I don't think he costs too much money, probably 20-30 million. I mean, he was linked to Bayern Munich last season, so he's obviously a good player, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I thought, I thought that would be a good one. So moving on, it is Fulham.
I put Adam Armstrong.
It's not a bad shout.
He's got how many? He's got like 28 for. He got 28 for Blackburn this season because the season just ended. I guess it's not that unrealistic. Yeah. There's not really much more I can say on it. I guess they definitely do need a striker. But anyway, who did you put for Fulham?
Again, I've gone something completely different for you, but I put Harry Wilson from Liverpool.
Oh wow, okay.
But I just thought obviously they've got a lot of players on loan that are going to leave. If you think of like Loftus-Cheek, I think Ola Aina leaves again. So I thought a bit of creativity in the team would be welcome for Fulham. So that was my pick. Who's next? Leeds. Who'd you put for the mighty Leeds?
Now, I really want this one to happen because I feel like it will really further this guy's career and not waste it at your club. Conor Gallagher, please. Now, I say this because Conor Gallagher's an exciting player. He plays for West Brom, who are just getting relegated to the Championship. There's no way he's a Championship player. I saw him play for us at Charlton when we were in the Championship, and he was by far our best player. He's unplayable. I feel like for Leeds, they're going to be an established Premier League club in a couple of seasons. I can't see them ever going down. I know that's bold for me to say, but I think they're 10th this season so far. But yeah, I think Conor Gallagher, on a permanent deal, not loan, permanent. I don't know how much he'll go for. I'd say 15 million.
15, 20, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon that. Because of how young he is. Because I think he's only like 20 or 19, so he's still got well of a future ahead of him. He's got against the England side in 5 years' time with the growth he's got so far. I feel like for Leeds, they need someone that kind of links up play a little bit, a bit like Everton. But Conor Gallagher kind of picks up scraps from the defence and brings it to the midfield. He wins a foul. He's very good. I think Conor Gallagher would be great for Leeds. Anyway, who did you put?
I think it's a very good choice, I must say. So for Leeds, I put, again, another foreign player. You might not know him, but hope so. So he plays for Ajax, and his name is Tagliafico. He's a fullback for Ajax.
Never heard of him.
He's a little bit old. I think he's 29 or 30 nearly. But I mean, he's played in the Champions League semi-final. I think Europa League semi-final from a few years ago. And he's just got so much energy and pace. Just runs up and down that wing all day long. And honestly, them Leeds players work so hard, don't they? They run everywhere. Leeds.
They do.
So and you think? I think Alioski's leaving Leeds. It looks like he's going to leave to Galatasaray, which hasn't gone down very well. I think Dallas is getting on a bit. So I thought someone like Tagliafico, perfect. So next up is Leicester. So who did you put for Leicester?
Now, this is one I thought was kind of reasonable, but also unreasonable. We'll see what you think. But Tammy Abraham.
Oh.
Now, obviously, he plays for you. He's your player, as contracted. But I feel like, Leicester have a very similar sort of player to Tammy Abraham in terms of Iheanacho. But obviously, Jamie Vardy's getting on. He's 30 odd now. He's probably going to retire in a couple of seasons. They need someone also to kind of challenge for that place. Anyway, who'd you put for Leicester?
So I put a young fullback. I love my fullbacks at the moment.
Yeah. By
the name of Nuno Mendes. So for a bit of backstory, he's 18.
Wow.
He plays for Sporting Lisbon, I believe it is, in Portugal. And I think he's already got a few caps for the Portuguese national team. And again, he's just pure pace, like pace on that left-hand side. And I know they've already got James Justin, and I believe Castagna can play down the left. But I thought that, backup doesn't help, does it? And if he's 18, he can kind of be brought into the team like very slowly. And as well with Justin, Justin plays on the left and on the right. And then I think Pereira is like, can play everywhere as well. So I think just adding that depth, that Mendes wouldn't start necessarily, but I think squad depth goes a long way.
It does, yeah. It definitely will show the quality of the side with squad depth.
Yeah, especially if Leicester want to actually like cement top 4 regularly. Yeah. So next up is Liverpool, last year's champions, of course.
Yep. I put Joshua Kimmich.
Oh,
now
very nice.
He's from Bayern Munich. They kind of need a midfielder. He plays in central midfield. I feel like they need a younger central midfielder because they got Henderson and Milner. Yeah. Milner's like, I don't know how old he is.
He's got 35, I believe.
35, yeah. I mean, in 2 years, he's got to be retiring. That's what I predict. So they're going to have to replace him, and definitely think the owner should do that. But yeah, who did you put for Liverpool?
So I put someone we've already mentioned, and that was the person you put for Arsenal, which was Koulibaly.
Oh, wow.
So I thought, obviously you got Gomez, your man.
Thank you.
Your boy Gomez.
I love him.
And Matip, but they're both so inconsistent with injuries. Yes. All the time they're injured. I know they've obviously got Kabak and Davies in, but I think if you get a Koulibaly next to Van Dijk, that's just like...
Oh, God, I'm just thinking about it now. Jesus.
That's just like match made in heaven, isn't it? That's just... not beautiful for me, beautiful for Liverpool fans. They'd love that. But yeah, that was my pick. So next up is the Premier League champions, Man City.
I put Erling Haaland.
Well, just to cut you off quickly, so did I. I also put Erling Haaland.
Wow, okay. Now, well, I feel like we kind of have a similar reason to why. Mm-hmm. Aguero's leaving. Yes. They need a striker. Yeah. Who's one of the hottest strikers on the planet right now, scoring free for all? Erling Haaland. What more can we say? It's like, it suits Man City. Man City are dominant. Yeah. Like Haaland is. He scores 3, 4 sometimes in a single game for Dortmund.
He scored 9 in one game for his national team.
Yeah, I mean...
9? How do you even score? I don't even know you would do that.
What can you say? He's only 19, 20 or something. He's a beast. But yeah, what can we really say? That's one that we got right, I guess. Oh, not right, but one that we kind of guessed. Yeah, we agree on together.
Well, yeah, literally, I think just Man City needs someone to just score goals. Like Chelsea, they've already got these flary players that create all these chances in like the Mahrez and your De Bruyne and all these kind of players. But they need someone to actually just score goals. And I mean, like you said, you can't look anywhere else really, can you? Than Haaland. Just a beast, really.
He is.
So next up, it's Man United next.
I've gone for a defender here. He's kind of aging a little bit, and I do think they needed another defender to partner with Harry Maguire. I put Mats Hummels.
Oh.
Now I know he's aging. I know he's currently at Dortmund, just like Haaland, but I mean, literally, the United and City both going for Dortmund players would be looking a little bit fishy. But I feel like Man United need a defender. They are quite solid at the back, but they do kind of leak goals sometimes. They have this odd mistake. I do like Eric Bailly, but I do think Mats Hummels is...
He's top drawer, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like top.
Yeah, I feel like he'd just be better for United overall. Yeah. Anyway, who did you put?
So I went with the defender theme, as you did, but I put Varane from Real Madrid.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I just thought that, because you think of it, obviously they're not going to get rid of Maguire because he cost them 80 million.
Yeah.
So, and you need someone next to Maguire. Because obviously Maguire's a pretty good defender. I mean, I think he gets criticism that's a bit harsh at times. But I do think that the problem is that Lindelof doesn't suit his play.
No.
I think United play better when it's Bailly and Maguire. So I thought we'd go for Varane. Varane's got that pace, a bit like Bailly. kind of similar in terms of pace, and they
Yeah.
kind of just complement each other quite well.
Bailly's definitely not as good as Varane.
Oh no, of
put it
course
that
not.
way.
No, but they're
that
kind
way.
of similar in some sense, which is kind of why I thought like Varane. Obviously, I used to say he's so much better than Bailly,
Yeah.
so that would just be the perfect thing, really, wouldn't it? So
Yeah.
next up is Newcastle.
Now, I've chosen a central midfielder here from Brentford, Josh Da Silva.
Oh yeah, good old Josh Da
Now,
Silva.
he's quality for Brentford. Newcastle need some sort of defence. John Joe Shelby, I know he's still just nearly about 30. But, yeah, they do kind of need someone like him. If they kind of get a signing like Josh Da Silva or just him, then I feel like Newcastle will be back to where they want to be, like top half nearly. Anyway, who
That's
did
very
you
good.
put?
So I put someone they've already got, and that's Joe Willock.
Oh, yeah, okay, I can see what you've done there. Yeah.
I think that I've seen reports that it's going to happen, and it would be about 20 million, which I think is nothing.
Wow, it's good for both parties.
Yeah, for how good he's been. And I mean, I don't agree with the thing that he's single-handedly kept them up, but he did a massive part to play, hasn't he?
Yeah,
mean-
he scored so many crucial goals.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even start all of the games, but when he
No.
does play, he's just like amazing, isn't he? Like you think he needs to start more, really, but I think
Yeah.
20 million's nothing. So I think that was my Newcastle pick. So next up is already relegated Sheffield United. So who did you go
Well,
for?
since they're in the Championship, and we know that, well, not in the they're not yet in the Championship, but since they're next season going to be in the Championship, I put Andre Gray from Watford as a striker. Like, obviously, he's a striker. He didn't really play much, don't think, for Watford, Andre Gray. And Sheffield United, if they want to get back up to the Premier League, they're going to need goals. Andre Gray is known to score a lot in the Championship when played. So, yeah, I just feel like he'd be good for him. Who did you put?
Put Eddie Nketiah from Arsenal.
Wow, okay.
So I thought, I mean, it might not work because you think like Brewster, the young striker's gone there. He hasn't done amazing.
No.
But I think that Nketiah, I mean, they said in the Championship, and he did score some goals for Leeds in the Championship.
He
albeit
did.
with not a lot of game time. So I feel like that would be a good signing for them. So yeah, next up is Southampton. Who did you pick?
I picked a left winger, and I feel like they kind of need this. It's Tariq Fosu from Brentford. Tariq Fosu used to play for Charlton, another player. When we had him, he was very, very good. He was a bit hot and cold sometimes with how he played, but since he's left us, he's kind of got a little bit, a lot better in terms of getting goals, assists, and yeah, I feel like Southampton needs someone like him to get more goals, because although they do score a few, they could definitely do with scoring more. But yeah, I do feel like Fosu as the wing would be a good option for him. Anyway, who did you put?
So I put Hamza Chowdhury of Leicester.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
So in that midfield, that kind of defence, I mean, they've got the creative midfielders in like Ward-Prowse and people like that. So I feel like having someone defensively just kind of there to kind of oversee everything. And I mean, he scored a few like rockets in his time, hasn't he, Hamza Chowdhury as well? So he has got a bit going forward.
He does.
So yeah, next up is Tottenham.
I put Gareth Bale on a permanent.
Oh.
Now, this is going to be very expensive for him, and it's probably unrealistic, to be fair, but Gareth Bale wants to sign, I think, and Tottenham fans want him to sign. If both parties can agree a deal, why shouldn't he sign? He's done very good for him. When he's played, I think he's even scored a hat-trick for him, and he's hardly played.
Yeah.
He scored definitely a couple of braces as well, so yeah, I feel like if they can sign him, it'd be very, very good for him. Anyway, who did you put for Tottenham?
So I put a defensive player, and that is Ibrahima Konate, again, of Leipzig. So, yeah, he's central defender, which I think they need. I mean, Dyer's probably not up to it. Sanchez just doesn't really, I don't know, he doesn't know what he's doing. He just gets spun every game. So, yeah, I thought someone with a bit of a presence at the back. Like, he's a big physical player. He's got pace. So, yeah, I felt like he would be perfect. So, next up, again, is already relegated West Brom. Who did you put for West Brom?
I know, because obviously you said they're relegated, they're Championship. Who's looking to be in the Championship? Johnson Clark-Harris. He's already going to be there, but for Peterborough, they could be looking to stay up, whereas West Brom be looking to go up. They're going to be in the same division, but I don't think that'll be sideways for him. Johnson Clark-Harris in League One has been superb. He's a top goal scorer for the whole of League One. He got probably, I think, 27, 28 goals. And I feel if he goes to West Brom for maybe 15, 20 million, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good signing for them if they do make that happen. So, yeah, anyway, who did you put?
So I put a current West Brom striker to join them on a permanent, and that is Diagne. They're obviously on loan at the moment. So I know he's a bit older, so if they can get him for like 5 million, 10 million, I know that's a lot for a championship team, but I feel like it would definitely be worth it. So we're now on to the last 2 teams at R20. So next up, who did you put for West Ham?
Now, I put defender because I feel like they need a defender. It's Ethan Pinnock from Brentford. If they were to sign Ethan Pinnock from Brentford, he's a top defender. I don't know how old he is, so I don't know how far he can keep on developing. But as a defender, he's very, very rock solid. Something that West Ham do need. But yeah, I feel like if they get him, they will shore their defence up. And I can't see why they can't push on to be an established top half club and even go for Europa or Champions League again. Anyway, who did you put?
So I put a striker, which again we've already mentioned, and that is Tammy Abraham.
Oh, wow, okay.
My boy Tammy Abraham.
Your boy.
Yeah, I feel like since obviously Haller left in January, and I feel like it's risky what they're doing with having just Antonio as the striker. So I feel like if they get Abraham in to compete with Antonio, but probably obviously in the long run take over him. Because I mean Abraham he's a good Premier League striker. I mean he's Chelsea's joint top goal scorer with 12 goals this season. Mind you, he hasn't played in like the last 10 games because obviously Tuchel doesn't fancy him or whatever. So yeah, I think he's a really good player. I think he'd do West Ham pretty well. So this is now the final team of the What Your Team Needs section.
Ooh.
So the last team obviously is Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yep.
So who did you put for Wolves?
I want them to go for the Portuguese team here. And I put the young Renato Sanchez.
Oh.
Now, I don't know when he transferred to, I think it's Lille.
Yes.
Lille. Yeah. But yeah, to go with the Portuguese theme, just why not for the laughs? We'll go with him. Yeah, they do like Portuguese players. He's Portuguese. He's a central midfielder, which I feel like they do need. So if they were to shore up their midfield and kind of get a younger player in now, I feel like it would really help them. Anyway, who did you put?
So again, also went with the Portuguese theme.
Yeah.
Of Wolves having the Portuguese national team. So I went with a player called Sergio Oliveira. I mean, the main reason I picked this was I watched him play for Porto in the Champions League quarter-final against Juventus, and he dominated. He honestly looked amazing. I thought he was like Messi or something. He just everywhere. And I was like, what on earth? And I mean, he's a little bit older. I think he's 28, 29. And he plays in that central midfield where obviously Moutinho and Neves are just bossing it. But they're not very mobile. And I thought that Oliveira is quite silky with his feet. And I feel like having him in there just adds a bit of mobility that they probably need to their midfield.
Yeah.
So that was our What Your Team Needs section. I feel like we both made some pretty good choices.
I'm happy with what we both did, to be honest. I thought it was pretty good from us.
So the next section of the show is the Premier League Team of the Season. So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, everyone knows what a Team of the Season is.
Yep.
So, but for those that don't know, so we're going to pick our top 11 players in the Premier League for this season. So we're going to do a 4-4-2 formation, which is what we both agreed is probably best.
Yep.
And then we're going to go position by position and say who should be where and why. We've also decided to do manager of the season, as well as 3 honourable mentions. So 1 defender, 1 forward and 1 midfielder. And the honourable manager of the season. So, where do you want to start? Should we start in goal?
Yeah, I thought I should start in goal, to be honest.
So, I'll let you go first. And who did you put in your goalie?
I put Edouard Mendy.
Oh, wow. So did I.
Now, the obvious one was to go for Ederson, but I feel like, and I can justify this one pretty well, they had a calamity with Kepa being in there.
Yeah.
And to fill in that spot and try and get as many clean sheets as he has, it's got to be a very hard task. It's got to be very pressurising. It's got to be very stressful for him to know that he's got all Chelsea fans down his back if he makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So for him to get the second most clean sheets in the Premier League, other than Ederson, the Man City goalkeeper, I feel like he's done the best.
And mind you, there's a point where we were 9th in the league. Man City had been top for ages.
Yeah.
So there was a point where we were playing, the rest of the team was playing awfully. We were mid-table, but yet he still produces clean sheet after clean sheet, and he just looked really comfortable of everything he does. Like, you wouldn't be scared. Like with Kepa, you were just wary. Like, oh, is he gonna make a mistake? Is he gonna? But with Mendy, it's just calm, complete calm. So left or right? First?
We'll start with the right first, I think.
Okay, so right back. So who did you put for right back?
For Kyle Walker.
Oh wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
No, I thought you wouldn't be. Now I know he hasn't played much for City. They've rotated a lot because of
so many games.
Yeah, having so many games and Pep having a really good in-depth squad. Yeah, Kyle Walker. He's probably one of the best right backs. He's done a very good job for City this season. That's why I put him at right back. Who did you put?
So I also put a City right back. I put João Cancelo at right back.
Okay, yeah, I can see why you've done that as well. He's played very well when he's been there.
He has played very, very well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a close one though, Walker and Cancelo. But obviously for me,
Yeah.
I think Cancelo just pips him as best right back in the league.
I just like Kyle Walker's experience. I feel like that's why it outdoes it a little bit for me. But yeah,
That's fair enough. So, right centre back. So the first one that I picked was Ezri Konsa. So I just feel like, I don't know, he just looked amazing, really. It's quite hard to explain it, but obviously Villa defensively looked really good this season. And obviously last year they were pretty poor when they were near the relegation zone. And I know that obviously he was there last year, but I think that having them new signings going forward kind of takes away from the fact of how good he's been defensively and kind of takes away all his limelight and all his his praise, if you will. So that was my choice. So who did you put for right centre back?
right centre back, I put Ruben Diaz. Now, I think he's got to be the player of the season.
Yeah.
He's really stepped up Man City's defence, and although I've made it very, very Man City so far in terms of the
Well, they've
squad.
won the league, haven't they? So
They have won the league, so you should see quite a few of them. But Ruben Diaz is very, very good. He's very solid. He's even scores quite a few goals as well. So, yeah, I feel like it's justified why he's there just because of how many blocks off the shot he can make, how many good tackles, interceptions. It's very, very good. But, yeah, that's mine. Who did you put for left centre back?
Well, left centre back, I put Ruben Diaz. So I mean, I think when I was making this, I wasn't really bothered by like strong foot, weak foot, all this kind of thing. I just thought names you've got to get in there. And as you've obviously very well said, Diaz is the name that's got to be in this team, isn't he?
Yeah.
You can't not have him in the team. So who did you put for left centre back then?
I've gone for Ezri Konsa. Charlton boy.
Yeah. Surprise.
As you, I'm gonna mirror what you say. Mings and Konsa, both rightly so, have been, I feel like have done very well this season. But I think, as you said, Konsa is a better player than Mings. He's more solid. I don't know. It was halfway through the season, Konsa had the most interceptions of the whole league. I think he had the stat saying that no player have actually dribbled past him, which is unbelievable. So yeah,
I think that's a good choice. So next up is the left back of the team. Who do you put for left back?
Now this one's probably gonna surprise you, Luke Shaw.
Well, it may surprise you as well that I put him as well.
Never mind, it doesn't surprise you. We can both kind of mirror what we think here. For me, he's done very well.
It's top, isn't it? Top draw.
Yeah, top draw, top Shaw. Hey. Sorry, that's really bad.
That was good. I like
top Shaw. Yeah, I can't really say much more. He's kind of really done what he had to do. Get a lot of assists, goal contributions, bringing up the pitch, does the defensive work as well as he should, and he's just a very solid left back. So yeah,
I mean, you've kind of said everything that I was going to say, really. So so now we get to the exciting bit. So now we're on the midfielders. So we'll start off with the right hand side of midfield.
Okay.
Who did you put?
Put Mohamed Salah. Probably not surprising.
No.
I mean, Liverpool haven't been the best this season. I think they're 6th or 7th. They're just in the Europa spots. They can still get Champions League. But Salah's still second highest goal scorer. Yeah, I feel like he deserves it just on the basis that he's got so many goals still in a not a worsened side, but kind of performed worse. So, yeah, who did you put?
Well, to back you up even more, I also put Mohamed Salah. And honestly, I mean, like, I'm surprised he wasn't even in, the top 5 or whatever of the Ballon d'Or, nominees. I think he scored 100 goals for Liverpool already. It's only been, 2-3 seasons. So, now, who did you put as your 2 central midfielders?
I'll start left and go right. Left I put Ilkay Gundogan, and then right I put Bruno Fernandes.
So, why? Why for both of them then?
Gundogan, I don't even know how I can really say it, but he's kind of turned into a goal machine at midfield. He's kind of pipped in with a lot of goals for City in good key moments. So, yeah, that's why I picked Gundogan. And Bruno Fernandes, even though he sounds like Kermit the Frog, he's very, very good. He's very good. He's performing very well. Done that for 2 consistent seasons now. He's their best player by about 400 miles. So, yeah, he definitely deserves to be in their midfield. Who did you put?
Well, we have one player the same here, which obviously Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, he's got 20-25 goals this season overall. And the other one that I put, I'll make my case for him, is Thomas Souček of West Ham United.
Yeah, I see that.
I feel like even when he joined them in January last year, he just looked like different level for them, instantly. But I think he's just kind of at times carried them. So yeah. So who did you put on the left-hand side of midfield?
I put Marcus Rashford. He's good. I like him. He's a Man United boy at heart. He's very passionate for that club. He wants to play for the shirt. He's not only good on the pitch, he's good off the pitch. He's a great Samaritan, both sides.
What a hero.
What a hero. He scores a lot of goals, runs up the pitch for United, gets them a lot of key areas, key moments of the game. He's with Bruno. I think that them two work together very well. And yeah, who did you put?
So I kind of cheated here. I mean, he plays on the left for his team, but he's not known to play on the left.
Okay.
So I put Mason Mount.
Okay, right.
Honestly, I could not have him in there. I mean, apart from Kante, I think he's our best player.
Wow.
I think, I don't really remember him putting in a bad game for us. I think you normally get a 7 out of 10 from him, probably every game. And I think he's just top gravy.
I agree with that.
Now, we have the 2 strikers of this team. So, run me through your 2 strikers.
Okay. Harry Kane on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And left-hand side, Patrick Bamford.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'll start with Harry Kane first. Harry Kane, no questions.
No. Again, I'll just jump in. I also put Harry Kane as my right-hand striker.
Yeah.
Can't not really, can you?
No, you can't. Top goal scorer.
Top assist as well.
Top assist. Gonna probably pass Alan Shearer in all-time goal scoring.
That's a big claim, that is.
It's a big claim, but he's not far off it
He's
at all.
not at all, no.
Very, very key player for Tottenham. So, yeah there's no way I couldn't include Harry Kane. He's world class. One of the best strikers England has ever seen. Anyway, Patrick Bamford. Any newly promoted side would struggle. Patrick Bamford struggled in the Championship. He scored a lot of goals, but he still missed a lot. This season, so clinical. Very, very good. And, I feel like he just deserves it. Who did you put on the left? Because we know you're right.
So I put Heung-min Son. But I thought as well the whole Son and Kane partnership is.
You got to put them up there together.
Yeah, you can't miss out on. I mean, Son Aldo, as Mourinho called him back in the day. He's just a top player. I remember when he first joined, and it was just he just seemed like your average winger. He scored probably 2 in 10 or whatever, and he just was quick, and that was about it. But he's so clinical now. I mean, I'm sure you remember his goal against Burnley when he ran half the pitch and scored, and everyone was just like, wow.
Yeah, I saw that goal.
And you're just
unbelievable.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my left-hand striker. So those are our
That's the starting 11. That is the starting 11.
Yeah.
Who did you pick for the manager? I want you to go first.
Well, this was out of 2.
Please tell me you got the right one, please.
I put Brendan Rodgers as manager of the season.
Oh no.
I'm gonna just guess yours. I reckon you put David Moyes.
Yeah, I have.
Well, okay, I'll state my case for.
Go on.
So I feel like there's a lot of pressure under Leicester because of the whole last year thing.
Yeah, they kind of bottled.
They bottled it.
Yeah.
But this year, I don't want to say they're going to, and then they don't.
They still could. They still could
bottle, but I think they're going to get top 4. And I think his man management seems to be second to none. So yeah, that is my manager of the season. I heard the disgust in your voice when I said that.
I was disappointed in hearing what you put. I see why you put him.
Yeah.
But for me,
Moyes then.
David Moyes. I mean, who would have predicted West Ham, nearly relegated last season, in the bottom 3 for a good majority of the season, for a manager to nearly get a team relegated the season before, to now get them potentially top 6, and they should get top 6, to get them top 6 in Europa League next season. Unbelievable. Oh, just unbelievable, and I feel like he deserves it this season. But yeah, that's my manager of the year.
I think that's fair enough. I mean, you can't really argue with him, can you? So, for our honourable mentions, we'll just quickly run through them, as we're very quickly running out of time.
Yep.
So, honourable manager of the season, as I said, I put David Moyes. Who did you put?
Put Pep Guardiola.
Oh.
Yep.
So, your honourable mention forward, who did you put?
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Well, I put your boy, Patrick Bamford.
Yeah, Paddy.
Midfielder?
I put Thomas Tuchel.
I put Gundogan. Defender?
Wesley Fofana.
Put John Stones. And then, last but not least, the goalkeeper.
Nick Pope.
I put Emi Martinez. From
Wow.
Aston
Okay.
Villa.
No, I see why you put that one.
Yeah, again, Pope's up there as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? So,
wow.
yeah.
I'm happy with that one. Very happy with that.
Yeah, I think we've done pretty well with that section,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Pretty similar. And we also got some controversial ones in there just to spike up.
So, this is the breaking news section of this episode. So, the breaking news that I want to put to you, James, is about the European Super League.
Yep.
Everyone's favourite, obviously. And I mean, everyone's heard so much about it. But I wanted to bring you a small snippet of it and see what you thought.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure if you heard about Chelsea. They have now decided to add like a certain select fans to the boardroom meetings that they're going to have
Wow.
in the future.
That's good potential.
Go on.
That's got potential. No, I feel like fans should have a say in board meetings and stuff sometimes, because, like, as you saw with the Super League, things are said behind the fans' back. The fans have got the most important part of a football club. Even though the money is most made from the owners, the fans keep the club alive. They keep the revenue in terms of paying for the football shirts and all the merchandise, the going to the club superstores and buying all their stuff, paying for season tickets, just going to any sort of venues. The fans are the history to the club.
They're the life of the club.
The club dies without them.
Yeah.
So to have fans at a board meeting where big potential decisions get made for the club going forward, I think that's very good. I think that Chelsea have done a very good job of that. It might just be to get them out of papering over the cracks, to get them get them out the deep end with what they've just done.
And personally, for me, my worry of it is that, like, they won't actually get a say, kind of thing. And, like, obviously, you'd imagine if they're in these kind of big, really important meetings that could, like a Super League thing, you'd wonder if they've got this kind of contract where they're like, these fans can't say anything because they're in these, like, meetings, like, officially or whatever. And if they come out, they just get sued, like, beyond. That's personally my only worry.
Yeah, no, that is a big worry, to be fair, and I can see why you are worrying about that. But I think it's definitely more positive than negative.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it ever happen, like, at Charlton or anything? Could you see the new?
It already does happen. Well, not ownership. I mean, our owner is connected with the fan base very, very well. He tweets to the fans a lot. He goes to games quite a bit. He lives in Colorado. He's probably been to about, even though with travel restrictions and stuff with everything going on, probably been to maybe 8 games this season.
Not bad, really, is it? I mean, like. When did he take over? Was it like
September? Yeah. September 25th officially. So under a year, he's been to nearly a dozen games.
Which is probably more
home and away, because I think he went to Wimbledon away as well. I know that's in London.
Yeah, it's not far.
Yeah, it's West London.
Which, I mean, probably more than you could say for someone like Kroenke or someone like that. I mean, they probably go to like one game a year, which is probably like Arsenal Tottenham or something. You know, the biggest game.
He goes to just any sort of game when he can, when he's free. And, getting from Colorado to London, it's not easy.
No.
It's definitely not easy. So yeah, we have these. They're called the Bromley Addicts, right? And it's not exactly what you're talking about, but it's on a similar sense. Fans get to go in to speak to the manager and like players sometimes speak to them about what could happen, like who they're looking for, a transfer window, stuff like that. And I've been to one before with our old manager, Carl Robinson. And funny story, my dad actually met Carl Robinson in the toilets of that and said hello to him.
Nice.
But yeah, I remember going to it. It was pretty boring. I was at the back. But to hear your manager speak in more of a personal sense, and not just for the media, he's more of a personal sense towards the fan base. It was really nice to hear. And I feel like if Chelsea can do that with the boardroom and have some good decisions with it, I feel like it'd be really good going forward.
With that though, did you feel like, because you said about how like mentioning signings and stuff like that, do you feel like it actually like they took on board what you said, or not really?
Bit of both, because I think at that point we had our really bad owner who kind of wasn't up to the manager.
Didn't spend the money.
To get signings. But I remember there was one guy who was just literally shouting out names for us to sign. And he was like, I don't like him. Oh, I do like him, I fancy him. And so our manager was taking on board what we were saying that, what could be feasible for us and what isn't.
Yeah.
I feel like, it was a pretty good thing to do. And so, a lot has moved on since those 3-4 seasons since we've had Carl Robinson as manager. But, having that Bromley Addicts meeting and being there and attending and actually hearing what the manager says, it was very, very nice, and it was a very personal thing, and also some of it might have been said just to keep the media happy. It's a very good, positive thing to do, and I feel like more clubs should do it if they don't. But yeah, anyway. Well,
just on this whole the whole Super League debate and everything like that, did you think that because I think the answer to my question is yes. Do you think that these clubs, like these big billionaire clubs or whatever, do you reckon they'll try it again, maybe in a few years' time? Yeah, I think they will as well.
400 million%. Now, they're going to try it a different way. They did it with Big Picture.
That's it, yep.
Project Big Picture. And it failed straight away.
Yeah.
The Super League was done behind everyone's backs, and the contracts were agreed behind everyone's backs. And as soon as it came to the media, within 72 hours, it got binned straight away.
Yeah. It was actually quite impressive how quickly they bottled it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite impressive. It was very instantaneous. It was obviously good for us fans that happened. But yeah, I just can't see that they won't do it again if they've done it twice.
Especially someone like
the owners at the top are very greedy. Although they're billionaires, multi-millionaires, all they want is more money, and that they see, especially the American owners like Kroenke and the Glazers, they see their clubs as a franchise
rather than a club.
Yeah, and for me that is far from disgraceful. I hate it. We have an American businessman, but he does not think we're a franchise. He loves the fans. As I said, he connects with them on Twitter and every form of social media that he has. And with the American owners for Arsenal and Man United, all they care about is money. And the franchise thing in America is that, it's all for money, and the Americans get on and deal with it, and they don't mind it because they're used to that. But us English fans, we're very passionate about sport, and football as a whole is the most passionate sport for this country.
Yeah.
And that's by far, just by how we react to the Euros, the World Cup, how we react to someone winning the title like Leicester. That was worldwide. Even this Super League went worldwide very quickly because us football fans care so much about our clubs, to the point where I've cried multiple times about my club, both promotion and relegation. So emotion comes into clubs a lot when you're a fan, and for owners to completely not care about the passion and emotion that fans have and just disregard them and kind of do this Super League, and I think it's disgraceful, and I can see them doing it again, which it horrifies me and it scares me, but the fans should have the upper case here to try and stop it again.
Yeah, I think you've kind of hit it spot on as well with the whole I think the owners see the fans as customers, don't they?
They do, and
rather than fans.
Yeah, that's what our old owners did anyway. Roland de Châtelet, he saw us as fans. He literally, him and the CEO, Catherine Meyer, they literally called us customers to our faces. They were like, "Oh, you're not loyal customers to us if you're protesting." I'm like, "Excuse me, customers?"
Yeah.
Oh, how dare you? And I was so mad. Oh, yeah. And that for me is where football clubs, football owners ruin football.
Yeah.
When you start to think they're customers, and you start to think they're not that big part of a football fan base or football club. So yeah, for me, for owners to call us customers is disgusting, and I hate it. It's putrid.
It just makes this kind of divide, doesn't it, between the owners and the fans. It kind of proves the point that they're obviously not on the same level because they run the club.
Yeah.
But they should be on the same level in terms of what they think. You can't have obviously with Charlton, you've got the owners and the fans couldn't have been any further apart, could they really?
No.
When the old owner was there.
Yeah.
Compared to now, where you love him basically, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously we were boycotting and not selling season tickets when our old owner was there, but now our new owner is there. Within a week, we've sold 4,000 season tickets. Within a day, we sold 2,000, which our club's Twitter said that literally breaks the last 5 seasons combined. Wow. So having an owner there where we can actually probably go back to stadiums, it's going to be electric for us. And that's what an owner does to a club like us. We're a very passionate fan base. We care about our club. And I would die for the club. I'm telling you, I would die for my club. It is, I love it to pieces. It's a passion that I have and will have for the rest of my life. And I always say I'm Charlton till I die. And I mean it, solely and solemnly, I mean it. But yeah, it's great to have an ownership that cares.
Definitely. So yeah, I also sadly think that is all the time we have for this episode. So, my name is Pettman.
And my name's James Target.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll get real lost. We'll get real lost again.